So, guys, I have a special guest today. We have a really good topic because I feel like me and her talk about this topic all the time anyway, right? We talk about this
Yep.
topic multiple times a week because we run into Karens constantly.
Oh, all the time.
So, our
All the
topic today is Karens, unfortunately. So me and her both know, woo, Karens. I don't know. Should we be clapping for Karens? Probably not.
listen, Karen, it's not a name, it's a rank.
It
Okay. You
is.
get that babies are not if you ever really, heard the babies are born. I don't know. I've never seen a baby named Karen. I mean,
Little
have you
baby
ever?
Karen.
No. I think you just like you named the baby Michelle, and then over the years, I think once it hits that kind of a Karen age, she like names herself. That's it. I'm Karen.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
what
you
it is.
rank up the levels. You go up
Yeah.
levels of like, and then the like top level, like end game is like when you get that haircut.
Oh yeah, that's when you
That's it.
get that
Big
victory in
love laugh.
hairstyle. Oh
That's it.
yeah.
So me and you both know, we won't name names, but me and you both know a Karen.
Oh
That
yeah.
we that
I
made
have,
me like a
I have a
living hell. What happened?
I have a neighbor here right across the hallway. She
Oh,
is
you have a Karen?
yeah, she's like a sweet lady, but she is such a Karen. Oh my
Oh
God.
my God, I can't. I can't. Why did Karens drive me nuts? There's something about them that they're just like the ultimate asshole. I feel like as a Karen. They're the
Yeah.
ultimate person that you can't stand between the haircut, the quotes that they have on their walls. Like it's just horrible how they look. The haircut. It's a mix of everything that makes you like the ultimate person you and the complaining.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, hey, I complain a lot, but I don't call myself a Karen.
I think the worst part about any industry, like with like we would talk about like a service industry from like restaurants to like, customer service, like beauty industry. I think if you somehow manage to deal with Karen, I think they should give you like a freaking gold star for life
Oh,
because
100%.
that that experience take like a half of your life away.
It
I
will. They
don't know
suck the
about
life out of
others,
you.
but myself.
And you deal, like you said, you deal with a Karen. I feel like if you're in customer service, if you work, especially if you're bartending or waitressing, you deal with Karens all the time. Like they come in, they act like you owe them something. Like you're coming to fucking Charlie Brown's to eat a chicken wing. Like I don't owe you shit. You're lucky you're here eating. I dealt
Yeah.
with so many Karens. You've worked in restaurant industry? No.
No, never. I tried
Okay.
a few times to bartend, but nobody really trained me properly, but even though I always wanted to. But that's what I actually wanted to ask you because I know you actually have some experience.
Oh
What
my
do they my
God.
only question that I'm always here, what do they usually order? Like some like frozen margaritas,
So they come
frozen
up to the
daiquiris?
bar and they're already drunk when they get there usually. Like they look like they've drank like 5 glasses of wine before they got to the bar. And they come up and they go, make me something fun for, or it'll be their birthday. And like, you have any fun birthday shots? Like they,
Oh
and
my God.
I would give them the same thing all the time. Remember the whipped vodka back in the day?
Yes, yes,
I would
yes.
give them that and put pineapple juice in it and tell them it's birthday cake. And they'd go, oh my
Oh,
God, this tastes so good.
of
Just
course
because,
it tastes
uh,
so good.
and then there was
He's drunk.
times where I had to cut them off because they were like, they came there drunk. Like, and they're coming to places that were like not clubs or lounges. Like, why are you coming here so drunk already? But then my manager would come over and be like, you have to cut these people off. She looks like she's about to fall over. So I would take, this is like a bartender trick, take the cup with the straw hanging out of it and
Yeah.
just dump vodka on the straw. So their first sip was like, they're like, oh my God, it's so strong. And then they would never realize there was no vodka in it.
Oh my God. Wow. What a trick.
That's a trick.
Listen,
Because I was
always
so
learn
used to them.
something new.
Yeah. There was another time where this was like the mega Karen. This was at a club though. This was at Teak in Hoboken. There was somebody standing across the bar from me and she was like wasted drunk. She was really bad. And she was just a pain in the ass the whole night. I couldn't wait for her to leave. She had like a Karen-esque haircut. It was a little bit longer, but it was blonde. And she took an olive out of her drink and threw it at me to get my attention. Like, and I felt it hit my hair. And I was on the register and I remember like, I said, who did that? I turned around and she goes, I did. I wanted to order a drink. So I said, okay, hold on 1 second. And I went and got the like the manager and everything, dragged her ass right out. I'm like, this is like, that's like a mega Karen. Who throws a dirty olive out of your drink? Like either that or she was an alcoholic. I don't know. Something was not right.
No, listen, they're right. They're like I said, it's a rank, and they
It
also
is.
have not only every rank has a division. It's like first you speak with the manager, then what is it like a regional director, then want to talk to CEO, and then we want to talk to board of directors. That's when you like get that woo
You
like
work your way up.
it's that haircut, that kind of it's like that little poof on the front that looks
Wait,
like
I
a
have a
peacock.
picture. on my
And then
phone.
a symmetrical bob, as they call it, with
Yeah.
a lot of different layers, just like laying around, like framing the face, because
And they use
there's
the Tresemme, the
oh
Tresemme
yeah.
shampoo or the
Oh,
pin.
there's a Tresemme. There's a Lucky Charm bracelet, basically with every single Lucky Charm on your ankle. Oh, yes, that's the one. That's the perfect one. And the hair salons. Like if you look into like beauty industry, which hair salons they serve Karens. Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. They're
Oh,
like
that's
show pictures
beautiful.
from the 80s. Look at and the back is always like a darker color. Usually the back is like a darker brown, but the front, it's all kind of like a backwards mullet. It's very
Oh my
similar to a
God.
mullet.
So it's basically, what is it, like a party on the front, business on the back instead?
That's
What is?
exactly what it is. Hold on. I have to find one more picture because there's different types of Karen haircuts. That's like the mega Karen, I feel like.
Well, they're also the more aggressive Karens and less aggressive Karens. So you see it based on that contrast of the dark and light. So if she wants to be more fierce, just to kind of show up and Target or Walmart to speak with the manager about that unsuccessful return that she had, red socks that she bought for Randy for Christmas. Nobody's listening to her. If nobody's listening to her, then
So she
she's gonna
screams louder.
make that poof even more aggressive, and
Starts
when
getting the
her
hair.
turn. Yeah, and just like, especially now with this whole 6 feet away, it's like sometimes you can say like, you know what, Karen, just like 6 feet, please.
Yeah, please.
Don't
You
poop in
and
my
your mullet.
face.
Like
Yeah.
this is the second kind of Karen I could picture.
Oh, beautiful. Love it.
With the
Love it.
face, the side bang. It's usually like a side bang, but it's round.
You know what it is? It's like, like when you see the picture of Karen's and, managers with that haircut, it's called, when that unstoppable force meets that immovable object.
Yeah.
That Karen is unstoppable force and that manager is a movable object, because that manager has been in those stores for years. She owned her like 100 golden stars because she dealt with so many Karens. But
Yeah.
I feel like we don't have him here as much as other parts of the US.
No, I agree with that. Definitely. We deal with, I feel like you get your Karens, like you said, when you go to Target or when you go to Kohl's or something like that, you always see people looking like they want to speak to the manager. Actually, this one that I just looked up is called I Want to Speak to the Manager Haircut. It says on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
If
Oh
my
yeah.
thing would focus. It's not going to
Oh
focus.
my God.
But that's what I like. You're right. It's not, where's like the most Karens though that you would think? Maybe like LA, Los Angeles. There probably is a lot of Karens in Los Angeles,
Yeah, definitely.
like
But like,
uppity.
yeah, like probably like but more of that kind of not as trendy hippie-ish parts of California. I guess like
Yeah.
LA, more of like those like suburbs. Oh yeah, because over there you don't like something like minor, you can already complain. It's
Right.
always about the customer service and people and all that.
Yep.
But yeah, like I think a lot of us, we have Karens here more. I don't know why, it's more of like this part of New Jersey, like closer to like a central part. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
at least I don't see a lot. I mean, I meet them once in a while here, but
I feel like I talked to them when I worked in customer service over the phone is when I talked to them a lot. That's when they were really bad because they don't hold back at that
dealerships,
point. Yeah.
also.
Oh, yes. Because
Oh,
you worked at a dealership, right?
oh yeah, and I worked in the it's a, we back then they decided to create that, not just like do the whole process of a dealership as like, the person comes in, salesperson takes over. We had a business development center, BDC, where we tried to kind of like do this whole customer service when people would start sending inquiries, just basically what's working right now. But back like 10 years ago, that was like a new thing. And I remember a few of them. They just, I just want you, Marina. What's your name, Marina? I want you, Marina, to sharpen your pencil and come up with the best price on my pre-owned used car. And then it's always like, does it have a warranty? And like, what's the interior? And then she would like come in, she would look at this car, and then she would talk to her friend. She'd be like, I think we can redo the interior, maybe like add some pink to it or something,
Oh,
like some
please.
like used TL, that she would buy. Like, and she's like, I just don't
Be
like the
covered.
color of the interior. I think we can use a little bit of pink in there, right? And I'm like, oh God, like good luck to that.
That's a super Karen car. That's, you know what that reminds me of? Like the Mary Kay. Remember the Mary Kay? That's like a mega Karen. That's a level right there. The Mary Kay, what was it? A Cadillac, I think?
It
Remember
was
with
a
the eight?
pink, yeah, it was a pink, I believe it was pink convertible Cadillac. That's what
Yeah.
you win.
When you
But
sell
isn't
it.
it like Mary Kay is also sort of like a scheme? Like,
Oh, yeah,
isn't
like a
one of those
pyramid
like
scheme.
pyramid schemes?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Karens love
it.
pyramid schemes.
Oh, they love pyramid schemes. That's their thing. Karens love anything that they feel like they could be like a boss babe. Like I was saying in my other podcast, that's
Uh-huh.
their, if they feel like they could post on Facebook, oh, guys, I have a new business. It's random shit like fucking Tupperware. Like I can't. Nobody does that anymore.
I almost felt, what is it, Rodina and Fields,
Wrote it in field.
Monet.
Monet makes people's hair
Monet.
fall out.
Really? See, I never, it's funny actually.
Yep.
This one girl just keeps like hitting me up on Instagram. She's like, "Why don't I think you will be great? You will be a great fit for this position." And I'm like, "I don't want to sell." I told her, I was like, "I'm sorry, but I don't want to sell." And she just keeps. And now apparently with Monet, there's also these like additional serums that they sell. But anyways,
Oh my
going
God.
back to Karen's, I had a very good poster when I used to work in corporate, and now it's like I remember this. Probably the corporate was made by Karen partially. That's how I feel sometimes, because it's like meeting. You're bored out of your mind. Hold the meeting. Feel important. Point with a stick. Eat donuts. It's like was like point by point. That's a Karen thing.
That's what
Point
they
with
do.
a stick. Be bossy. Feel important because you want to feel and eat donuts.
You have your
You guys want
pantsuit
to have
on.
some coffee and donuts, okay? With their little
Oh, and they got their acrylic nails, which I love acrylic nails. I don't have them on now, but they
I
usually
have mine are acrylic too.
Yeah.
I have mine acrylic too. But listen, those like looking like shovel things, like with the French.
And instead of like yours is like a nice shape, sometimes theirs will go out like this instead of like
Oh yeah.
to a point. And they're always the French and they come out like this. Like the person that we both know that we're thinking of, she was the mega Karen. If you could draw a Karen, you would draw a picture of her. The way that she talked about things, ugh. When I talk about her, I want to throw up.
And that Karen, I remember she used to always say, and I always would picture it in my mind. I don't know why, maybe because I have a very like imaginative, like creative, like mind or something. But she would say always, and ladies, please tell everyone, whenever you go for pedicures, don't let them cut your nails because you might get ingrown. In my head, I'm like, so you basically have a like
claws.
A claws on your feet, like your socks might be all like constantly getting ripped. You might be like constantly having holes there. Like what I don't understand. Like if you ever notice in the summer, they will have these flip flops and a little Lucky Charm bracelet on their ankle.
Yeah.
And these nails, man, like cut them.
They look like extensions. Like they look like they have an extension on their toe because they just it makes, honestly, I want to throw up.
Might as well just like put a tip on your toe, and just like walk with that, like do some little air graphic, design or whatever they like to do, those little flowers, little stencils.
Ew. And then they put French. It would be French with an acrylic tip.
Yeah, something French, something diet to drink, it's like
the wine, they down wine, they drink with their acrylic nails and they have their haircuts. Not waiting kind of has to go with the fact that like when they go to Kohl's, they don't want to wait in lines ever. They won't wait to return something. They'll just scream as loud as possible about the fact that they have a problem, as if they're the only person that has a problem.
Oh yeah. It's always, I just wanted to return that Lauren Conrad top. It didn't fit me. I look kind of like too like boyish in it, and there's no registers. Are there any registers open? We used to have this Kohl's when I used to live in West Patterson. There used to be this Kohl's right next to the Barnes and Noble in 46 in Ottawa. It was huge Kohl's, and oh my God, all Karens
were. I know which one you're talking about. It was by a Party City and like a movie theater, kind of.
Right. Yeah. So there was like, it was like a sanctuary for Karens because they would always have these display of different perfumes, like Juicy Couture perfume.
Oh yeah.
And those Juicy Couture, you remember those like sweet, like it's like it smells like from miles away.
Yeah.
That's cute. That's cute.
And the whole store smells like it. It's like when you go to Bath and Body Works, you walk in there like, and I love perfumes. You go, I love it. Immediate headache from the smell. I don't know how people work in those stores because you have Karens going in there and spraying all kinds of perfume all day long. And then they walk out, they probably sprayed in their hair because they didn't wash that mop because it's so stiff. It looks like there's a pound of hairspray in there.
Well, the thing is that this mop can hold only if you have a dirty hair. The dirtier the better. You just throw in some like dry shampoo, tease it a little bit, and then here you go. And it's gonna stay a long time.
Dirty helmet. Ew.
Oh yeah.
You've worked in customer service, like I feel like you've worked with, we both have worked in skincare customer service. That's another kind of like atmosphere also. When you work with patients or clients, that's totally different than like bartending or working at like a car dealership. Because those people come in, and I always say this is going to sound so mean, but they come in and they think that it's like plastic surgery sometimes. Like, bitch, I'm working with your face. Like, what do you want me to do? There's only so much makeup I could put on somebody or so much facials I could do to get, if you want that, you got to go see a plastic surgeon. Like I don't know what they're expecting. They come in with like bags down to here.
the contouring, this whole contouring thing. And then, what was that? Something I remember there. She's like, well, then if you don't know how to contour, I will go and learn how to contour. That's what
Yeah.
somebody, and I'm like, go. Oh my
She didn't
God.
know how to contour. That was the problem. The woman that we both know is the one that we're talking about. She didn't know how to contour. She'd wear purple eyeshadow every day with her mullet and tell people that that was a look. Like, that's not a look. I don't know what planet you're living on.
You know what? I want to actually ask you a question because,
Mhm.
I'm more kind of, even though we went to school, you see, like I more started going towards just like a medical, like an assisting. And that's what I kind of like help out more a little bit now. But you are actually a makeup artist. So let me ask you this. I'm sure you did brides in the past.
Yeah.
Tell me, is the bridal makeup should be matte or it should be like, because there's Karen that says that it should be only matte because the way it
No.
posts on pictures,
Mm-mm.
you can contour at the wedding, when you do the wedding makeup. Is it true?
That is such a lie. Don't want a big matte face. I mean, you want something a little, depending on the person's skin type, though. You have to base it on if somebody has super
Right.
dry skin, you don't want to make them super matte. But if you make somebody super, super matte in their pictures, they're going to look like a big pancake face. Like
Like a
it's going to look
Casper.
like, yeah, it's just going to look flat. You want somebody that has like a little bit of something like glow. You don't have to go crazy. Like I have a tiny, tiny bit of highlight on. You don't have to go like insane and highlight the whole face. The problem is, I think the person that we're talking about doesn't even know what contouring and highlighting is. So if she doesn't know what it is, it doesn't exist. So she'd rather just say, don't do that. Make it matte. Remember, she used to say, put blush here, like two clown cheeks. She like has blush, like literally like Bozo the fucking clown would have blush like right here and right here. I'm
I
like,
feel like actually that Karen, she does need some a little bit of like that glow on her face because I mean, if you have that
crusty.
super thick, like super like a cakey, dry, ass like face,
I can't.
you should add a little bit of it. But I think she probably thinks that if you wear matte makeup, you visually look leaner, your face looks leaner than you would do like glow, because like sometimes a highlighter adds a little bit of volume, like let's say you put a little bit here on your cheekbones, it
Right.
makes your cheekbones pop.
It
So I
does.
think she doesn't want anything at this point to pop because all faces pop, so like she just wants to.
It's from the forehead down is popped.
Oh yeah,
Popping out
everything
of
is
those
pop.
pants, popping out of that shirt.
And those
I
shoes though.
can't. I used to have nightmares about this woman. It's so bad.
Yeah. Listen, well, she's typical Karen because listen, Karen, if you look at the name Karen, right?
Yeah.
Karen. So Karen, I actually found that's actually very cool. I actually got to put it probably on my phone or something. K, know you're right. A, accuse everyone. R, request the manager. E, escalate to authorities. And N, neglect reason.
There you
Even if you
go.
take that Karen that we're talking about, there's the reasons were always neglected.
Yeah, because they're important. Nobody else matters at that point. Nobody else, like I said, actually, when I worked, because I did customer service for Capizio, the dance company, and you should hear these dance moms want to hear a mega Karen that used to call in. They would call, first of all, they'd buy crusty ass shoes on eBay. Like you could tell they were from like the 80s, some of them, like white Capizio shoes. We haven't sold those in 30 years. So they would call and pretend that they bought them from our website and we just don't sell them anymore and they want to return them. And when I would try and argue with them and say, ma'am, we haven't sold those shoes in 30 years, they would talk down to me as if I'm crazy for saying that. I'm like, where did you even buy these? Like people used to wear white Capizios out. My mom always told me that back in the day, like to clubs. Like that was like the thing
To
to wear when
dance.
people would dance. Yeah,
No,
because
but to
people used to
dance,
dance.
dancing.
But nobody does that anymore. They try, oh no. And then speak to the manager. And my manager would be like, bitch, we don't fucking sell those shoes. Like, where did you get white Capizios? Where the fuck did you get white Capizio shoes? They were so bad. Dance moms, that's another mega Karen. Anything that's dance and Karen, not a good mix. That's a
See,
really hard.
you added into my other, like a group of like, because I did kind of like, division of Karens, by neighborhoods, by the stores, by the activities. See, I'll put the dance mom. Yeah, like I can only imagine. It's like, I feel sometimes like their memories, they go in fragments. They have a selective memory. They only remember what they have to, but what they don't really need to remember or
Mhm.
something. It's almost like, you take an old, pile of clothes. Oh, I don't like that. I'll throw it away. Same with her. It's like, oh, I don't agree with that opinion. I'll just gonna throw it away. But the
Right.
fact that it's a fact.
Yeah.
She
They
doesn't
don't
care.
care.
No.
Because it doesn't, if they don't want to agree that so anything they don't agree with must not be true. That's why. Because they're
Yeah.
Karens.
Oh yeah.
Not surprised. I can't. I would just, Karens, honestly, Me and you have dealt with a lot of Karens in our day. Actually, remember the story I told you a couple weeks ago about when I was at, or no, this was like, well, I told it to you a couple weeks ago, but it happened like a year ago. I went into Five
Remind me.
Below to go buy Bocce a pair of snowshoes. This was last, like before COVID and everything like this. And there was a mega Karen in line in front of me, like real nasty, big fat mega Karen. Oh, wait, I have to tell this story. So I went into Five, and I hate that store in general, usually, and I like loud music, but the music is always blasting in that store for some reason. I don't know why. And it's usually a mess, but I went in because one of my friends said that they had little rubber shoes for dogs. I'm like, okay, let me go check it out. I was nowhere near this woman. She had like 97 kids. They were like making a mess, like all over the aisles where the gum is. They were like
Yeah.
shit. And I was waiting, like, I'm a germaphobe. I don't like to be close to people anyway. So I was nowhere near this Karen, but
Yeah.
she turned around and she's like, gave me like a dirty look. And I'm like, what is she fucking looking at? Like, why? Then she made a comment really loud, like, oh, I wish I had some personal space. I wanted to fucking snap. I'm like, who is she talking to? Like, I'm nowhere near her. Trust me, bitch. I don't want to be near you. I don't know why you're being so nasty all of a sudden.
Imaginary. Looks to imaginary friend because nobody
Yeah.
wants to be friends with her. She created another Karen, like an imaginary friend. She's like, nice
Yeah.
to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
That's not me
what am I
talking. That's
doing
not
this?
me. So then if you would confront her, she'd be like, that's not me. That's
Yeah.
not me. That's my friend.
That's one of my 17 kids I have mecking. Like, they were ruining the displays. They were taking shit. They had like stupid swords, like made of foam, and they were like beating each other with the swords. They were taking the gum and like mixing it up. I'm like, you shouldn't be worried about somebody that's standing 10 feet from you. You should worry about your kids that are like fucking up the whole store. The poor employees that we've worked in businesses where you have to go fix because they weren't controlling her kids. I'm like, this is a mega Karen. I could just controlled myself. I'm like, I just got to walk out of here. I just want to buy $5 shoes. Like, I'm not here to be aggravated.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed. I can't. There's a lot of Karens in the world though. So
Yeah, Karens everywhere. I even had a few of them who I used to consider them to be like not good friends, but acquaintances that they turn into Karens. Like it's like two kids, two kids, a house, and now they're friends with other moms. So now every time there's either a compliment or something, there's always going to be an excuse that because she doesn't have kids.
Oh,
That's why
yeah.
that's why she
Yeah.
looks like that because she doesn't have. That's why Nicole. That's why you look like that because you don't have kids.
Exactly.
You're gonna have kids. You're gonna look like everybody else. You're gonna look like Karen. You
You slowly turn into a Karen, as if when you have kids, you have to turn into a Karen. Like, does that mean you don't have to take care of yourself anymore? You just have
But
to.
that's what I want to tell her, sweetheart. But it's your choice. It's not.
Right.
Don't really tell me. Don't stand in front of me and tell me that because I had babies that destroy my body or something. Trust me, I understand that. Yeah, during the pregnancy and the birth and the age, metabolism, but there's a line and difference between being lazy and finding an excuses and doing everything you possibly can.
Right.
And maybe sometimes you need a little bit of help. There's two different. It's two differences.
And no pregnancy is going to make you cut your hair like that. Like,
Oh, no.
it has nothing to do with that haircut. So,
that's
or the purple eyeshadow.
That's
the inner Karen
beast.
slowly starting to come out. And then you get the minivan. Like, we're talking levels, like we said before. You start ranking at that point. You become the soccer mom. You cut your hair like that. You strap on purple eyeshadow. You start leveling up, and then you look down on people that you're like, well, I'm Karen, and you didn't level at all. So we're too normal for them, I guess.
And we have tattooed eyebrows and inner eyeliner, but we have furry upper lips. So it's.
They want you to look
then we come in. But when we get our nails done, we also want to get a wax, like a brow wax, or a sideburn wax.
Yeah. I have sideburns. You think you could wax off my sideburns for me? As if the mustache. It's like when that's even happened to me before though. When I've gotten my eyebrows waxed, and they're like, "Oh, do you want your mustache waxed?" I'm like, "Bitch, do I have a mustache that I should know about?" I didn't like. Why are you asking me that?
Oh my God, I used to.
And I don't, trust me, I'm like crazy. I would never go in there with a mustache, but they look at you like, oh, they say it, I think, to like probably embarrass you. So you probably go, oh, okay. Yeah. If I have hair on my lip, then wax.
Yeah. If you say mustache, yeah.
I can't. That's happening now. I do my own eyebrows, thankfully. So I don't have to put up with that bullshit anymore. But that was bad too. So stupid.
And a work Karen's always about one of those, like, working hard or hardly working. It looks like somebody had fun on the weekend. And it's like, shut up, Karen. Like, just because, like when you were younger and you would start, like you were like single, young, you would go out with your friends, had sometimes, not that it's funny. Sometimes I remember I even used to tell my supervisors, like, it's not even that I had too much to drink on the weekends. It's the fact that, like when you're young, you're never happy to get up early in the morning. Now, since I'm in my mid-30s, like I'm a morning person. I prefer, but back then it's like, who wants to get up? So you're like, yeah, it's a Monday. You come in, you're not super happy. It's like, it's
You're
like
at
an
work.
Office Space movie, you know, and then
Yes.
it's like when somebody comes into you behind you, it's like, ooh, looks
Good
like somebody had
morning.
so much fun. It's like, or somebody had to kiss somebody. It's just like, just shut up, Karen. Like, go
Yeah,
away from me. Why are you creeping from the back?
they
Like,
do
go back
that.
to your cubicle with your pictures everywhere. Live life, love. Somewhere it's 5 p.m. It's time to have some wine. You know, one of those.
Or they come around the cubicle, because I've worked in a cubicle before too. They come around the cubicle like this. Hey, good morning. And you want to be like, ugh. Like, get out of my cubicle, Karen. I didn't even have coffee yet. The last thing I want to do is see your head. Like, you see the hair come over first, like the blonde hair. We're just
Oh,
like, oh no, it's happening.
I never forget. I used to have a training with somebody and I don't remember the company it was, but out of nowhere, I remember I have this woman from Cincinnati, and I think the training was like at Cincinnati, and like from Cincinnati, Ohio. So you see this first, like, hold on. Let's wait till everybody join. 5 minutes more,
Oh
Karen.
my
Is everybody here today? And then she has this huge ass pink
crying.
mug with like little, you know, one of those. If you flip it, it kind of like makes these little kind of like sequences, little
Yeah.
dolphins. She sits with this big ass straw. Like, had to have my coffee, you know, always.
Oh my God. When
And
you see
people,
that
I
face.
remember, you know, responding on the micro because I'm hearing, you know, I'm sitting just and you know, so funny, and I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? Like,
The sad thing is, because you're on video, you have to stay looking normal. You can't sit there and be like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah,
Like, you got to stay like
engaged,
engaged.
enthusiastic. There's
As
no
if you're enthusiastic to do that. That's like this has nothing to do with a Karen, but when I used to have meetings, I put this in my other podcast. I had a manager. This was one of the worst jobs I ever had, that would phone conference in from the toilet. Like, he would be on, you would hear echoing in the back. He's like, guys, I'm going to be a little bit late. I'm going to call into he was supposed to be there at 8. It was like 10, 11 o'clock. And he would be phone conferencing from the bathroom. And then he'd bring in a lean cuisine and make that in the microwave. Like, that was probably one of the worst jobs I ever had. I think I only made it there like 8 or 9 weeks. That was in finances though.
So you see, like having like a scheduled bowel movements from 8 to 10, something like, you know, I don't understand. It's like you drank something that you know from 8 to 11, bro. Don't get up from your toilet because shit's about to kick in.
Please don't come into the office from 8 to 10. We know it's about to go down.
You know, I can't just like people have, you know, like it's like something, you know, they have these like special requirements, like a paper from the doctor. It's like, I can't make it in between this time and this time. But he apparently could not make it from this time to this time because, you know, shit about to hit the fan.
God. He was so disgusting. That was the same guy that you see the nuts. He would have like his desk literally just had shit all over it. And I'd walk in, and I don't like messes like that. It used to drive me nuts. And he would dig under papers, like dig under shit and like pull weird peanuts out and just eat them. And as I'm talking to him, I'm like, are you all right? Like, what the fuck is going on in this office? You want to tell me what's going on? He used to drink like energy drinks at 8 o'clock in the morning. He was a mess. That was,
oh my God, those people.
So, you know.
Yeah, we used to have somebody in my job, you know, I'm not going to be calling his name, but he used to be a pre-owned, you know, manager. Pre-owned, we used to call him Pre-on and the name. That would be his nickname. Pre-on, you know, Barry, Pre-owned Gary, you know, Pre-owned Tom, Pre-on John.
Oh my God.
And once I remember, but that's, you know, that's like a male version of Karen. It's just like we call them Randys, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those delusional people that it's like, I think something happened and they were asking him, what the hell have you been? You know, like we were looking for you. Like it was like one of the last straw before he got like, you know, fired from the corporate. And he would be standing with a cigarette outside and with his Red Bull, which is like this size. He's like, and he had always this kind of, we used to call it like a pre-owned certified shirt, like, you know, like short sleeve with a little tie in here.
Oh
and
my God.
standing there and he's like, where the hell have you been?
Smoking cigs and drinking Red Bull?
Yeah, and he'd be like, always been here. I haven't gone anywhere. And like, dude, like, why are you lying? Like, we're looking for you everywhere. Like, out of like 10 salespeople, 8 were looking. Always been here. They haven't gone anywhere.
Sure. Your ass. You laughed, and now you're outside smoking a cigarette, acting like your cigarette break was how long? An hour?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
people take
always been
advantage.
here.
Karens used to take advantage of cigarette breaks a lot when I worked in offices. They would disappear, like you said, for hours. And then one of them used to go to the chiropractor and say that she was, oh, I'm just going to go out for a cig break. And we go outside, she wasn't there. And then we found out she was going to the chiropractor up the street. You're talking like a 2-hour appointment. Like, Karen, where the fuck are you going?
She needs to be fixed for that beach, for that to be that beach ready, beach body ready for
Oh
the
yeah.
Dominican Republic, you know, for all inclusives.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
that's another Karen. When you go on vacation, you see those people with the pina coladas, and
How
they're
about these mugs? How about those mugs that they have everywhere with them, and these
yes,
swimsuits
they
that they
bring
have
them.
with they look like a freaking nightdress, like up to here, you
Oh,
know, and it's like
with the
and a
chubby
hat.
ankles. Then they
Yeah,
lay in
they're
the chairs like this,
yeah. Oh my
drunk
god! And
with the
then
pina
those are
colada.
the ones, and these are the ones that are always reserving spots, which it says
Oh yeah.
clearly, do not reserve the bed. You cannot put it. 5 a.m. I remember I went to. It was the last morning. I went. It was like we were in Mexico. I want to take a picture of a sunset or sunrise or something, whatever. So I woke up at 5. Karens are awake. 5 o'clock. They're like vampires. They're
Oh
awake.
yeah. They're awake. The sun came up. They're up. They're ready to go. And they go get their
Yeah,
chair. They put the towel down on all the chairs, right? Like the best spot at the pool. And then they go back to the room. And I don't know what they do. They maybe like fluff their mullet before they come down to the pool. They put more hairspray.
put the makeup on and spray some little
Yes.
nails so they don't get yellow through the chlorine, you know,
No,
because of those
they don't want
you
to
know,
soak
they
up
have
the
them in
chlorine.
tanning salons. They used to sell those like little rubber things because
Yeah.
you know you can with the tanning lotion make them orange.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's how they do it. Or they
And
go back to the room, they fluff their hair and they put on like I either have no makeup on at all and I look like a mess, or I have like a full face. I don't do like the in between. I hate that in between
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Parents go to the pool with like a full face of makeup usually. Like they look like they're just ready to go out at night. Like
Yeah.
if they're gonna do
Because
that,
that's my hairstylist told me that in order for this blonde not to get yellow and I'll be on chlorine all day, gotta
yeah,
spray some of that like that.
yeah,
And
and they
then
bunch the roots. I feel like I could really like make it look Karen because now I have shorter pieces in the front. If I fluff this up,
what?
I could really have a Karen haircut. Oh my God. That's so funny. I totally forgot when you go on vacation because they are on vacation when you go. You see a lot and they always want to befriend you in the pool. They'll always come over with those cups, like you said, that they bring from home and they hand them to the bartenders like normal.
Yeah, fill it up. Fill it up.
They're like the ones I used to bring to school, like with the straw, my coffee in with the straw in it.
Yeah,
That's what it reminded me of.
Oh yeah, Yeti cups. You see thermos and Yeti cups.
Yep.
I'm telling you, like in the especially St. Patty's time, you know, that spring break for college kids, because
Oh
you know, I
yeah.
went to school late. So and my husband's birthday is on the March 15th, which is like usually that spring break. So what usually we
Yeah.
used to do, he was like, what shall we do? He's like, I have nothing to do for my birthday. He's like, and you have a spring break, you want to go away for a week. That's how we kind of like started going every year. And I remember, I think it's like a literally the year that season is like a gross profit for Yeti and thermos, because I think the amount of thermos and Yetis that I get
Yeah.
purchased for that, and that's a St. Patty's Day that week as well.
Oh
So
my God.
they just want to have they bring 3 for coffee, for beer, and for the rest of for the
I don't
evening.
even
So
get
they don't
it.
have to wash it.
Ew, that's what grosses me out. Like when you go, don't you want to just, and this sounds horrible too, but I like to have a cup and I like to throw it in the fucking garbage when I'm done. I don't want to walk around the place, like the resort, with a dirty cup and be leaning it all over the pool. That to me is gross. Just give me a new cup when I go. And who puts beer? Like they'll be drinking beer, like you said, then they'll drink a pina colada, all out of the same cup. Like, can I have a different clean cup that I didn't lean next to the nasty pool for 3 days straight? That's
That's
gross.
how they alternate. That's how they alternate, so they don't consume too much sugar, you know. So they
Oh,
don't,
yeah.
you know. So they, you know, because it's like you need to cleanse the palates, you know. Like first we do that pinkish purple pina colada, and then we'll
Yeah.
take something natural, you know, something like beer,
They go
some
sex on the
cerveza.
beach. They think it's light. Oh, I'll have a sex on the beach. But instead, the problem is they get a sex on the beach that's like 4 times the size of this. And then they go, I only had 1 drink. No, you had like
Yeah,
14 drinks. You just had it in 1 cup. They're in 1 Yeti. They're
yeah,
fucking-
and then something diet to drink for lunch.
yeah. Then they'll have a salad after they consumed about 100 grams of sugar in 1 drink. I'm just
Some
gonna have a
cheese and
salad.
ranch dressing with that. Yes, some cheese and ranch dressing and some croutons.
Ugh, I
Croutons,
think that's even good.
yeah, croutons are exclusively good today. Randy, do you know what it is? It's just that kind of bread that they use here. It's the water that they use here.
They go to the buffet and they take a little bit of everything from the buffet. And I used to see, because I worked in restaurants, like when I worked at Charlie Brown's, people would put their head under the sneeze guard.
Oh my God. You know what it reminds me? It reminds me Griswold's episode. Remember when Clark lost everything in Vegas and he meets
Yes.
with his cousin and they go to that horrible buffet when they load that green jello on it and he keeps eating
That's
it.
what
It's
it
like,
was
that's
like.
good.
I would come in and I would literally see and they all look the same. They would have their plate like this. And we'd have a big sneeze guard that said, please do not go under the sneeze guard. And I'd look around the corner and I'd say, like, what are you looking at croutons that close for? Just fucking take them through the glass.
They smelling. Make sure they're fresh.
Either that or they'd steal whole loaves of bread and put them in their purses. And they'd have like a whole loaf of bread and then an apple in the other hand. And they'd have to leave, but they couldn't wave goodbye to me. So they'd be like, bye, see you later. People are fun. That's a Karen thing too, because it was like the Karens used to come in all the time. It's like a mixture of Karens and cheapos, I think. It was a bad combination. It's disgusting.
Yeah, she needs to kind of follow the style, and to follow the style, you need financial support for that. So
Charlie Brown's fits right into that Karen type. It's like Fridays, Fridays, Charlie Brown's. That's like a very Karen-ish restaurant. It's not fancy, but it's not like McDonald's. It's like in between McDonald's and it's not close to being fancy, but like halfway down. That's the kind of places they enjoy. They don't like going to nice fancy restaurants. That's not their vibe. They'd rather go to like, can we get 2 for $1 dinner at Applebee's? I like the Applebee's chicken nuggets that they always have in the commercials. That's their.
And Olive Garden, because in Olive Garden you are the family. What is it? The South Park was doing it the other day. I was dying. I think it was like, wasn't it South Park or was it something else? Oh, it was, or maybe it was American. I don't remember. But it's like, because if you're in Olive Garden, you are like a family. So that's to them. They go like, with their breadsticks and their, it was Family Guy. It was Family Guy.
With the never-ending breadsticks.
Yeah, it's like that, the pasta.
Ew. They eat pasta, never-ending breadsticks, and never-ending, what's the other thing? I've only been there once or twice in my life, and it's like fast food version of Italian food. It's disgusting. Salad?
Oh, they love chicken parm sandwiches.
Oh, yes, they do. That's
extra mozzarella, please.
Yeah, and they say mozzarella. Can I have mozzarella? And you want to like ring your ears. Like, what the fuck? If you're gonna order something, at least know how to say it right. And I know like the dialect that we say it in, like there's a difference of like Italian Jersey dialect and then like the right way to say it. But when they say it, it's very like pronounced, every syllable is like pronounced separately. I'm like, nobody in America says it that way except for you. Maybe if you go down south or like to California, I'm sure people are saying shit like that, but not in this area. It sounds
prosciutto, how they say prosciutto, like prosciutto, and I'm like, what? Prosciutto? It was a prosciutto. I was like, you mean like the meats? She's like, yeah, because there's like parachute. Like, I don't know. What are you talking about?
We've gone out to eat, and one thing that drives us nuts is when somebody says for cannoli, they'll go, can I have a cannoli? I'm like, what the fuck is a cannoli? Who orders shit like that? I don't know if it's like an Italian thing or like a Jersey thing, but we've heard multiple people say that, and we can't stand it. What is cannoli? Yeah, and they say cannoli, like G, cannoli.
I think they're mixing gnocchi because they can pronounce gnocchi or they can pronounce cannoli, so they mix it together. Gnocchi.
Can I have
Yeah, so then let's see what the waitress will come up with. If it's cannoli, I'll eat it. If it's gnocchi, I'll eat that too. But then I'll ask for something else. So then when the waitress comes in and she says, "Here's your cannoli," she'll be like, "Oh, and can I have another one, cannoli?" Because
cannoli, they'll eat whatever because it is.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
Yeah.
But the Karens can be. That's the thing with me. I notice that sometimes Karens can be either very aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Or they can be just passive aggressive, or they just can be these just passive Karens.
Or
that's to me that. Yeah. So like there's like like also like if I divide them in groups, like there's more aggressive ones. Those are the ones that go in the hierarchy of like poisonous snakes and like poisonous hornets, and then it comes Karen, and then we have like passive aggressive ones when they have stages of their anger. Like when it escalates to the board of directors. First, it's like very nicely. I don't think so. I like this color. I don't think that it's mine. I don't think that I like that. Okay, you know what? Then it's like, okay, you know what? Can I talk to a manager?
Yeah, no. It's the passive aggressive, like you said, like, I don't think I like it, but they'll say it in a way that's not nice. Like they're insulting you, but they don't want to insult you. But then they'll go straight to the insults. They'll be like, I fucking hate this. Can I speak to a manager? Like you said, different. I don't know how many levels of Karens there is, but we both know if there's like 1 through 10, I think we both know like a level 10 Karen at this point.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Definitely. Everybody does in this area. I would think anybody's ran into a Karen.
Yeah. Those are the ones, those are the ones that are like, or you see the kind ones, but the kind ones are the ones who would be standing there, be like, I'm about to like, for example, in McDonald's, something goes wrong, she doesn't get what she wants. And it's like, the kid is literally like, like young, trying to work. And in her head, she's like, oh, I'm already about to ruin your whole career. Not only about I'm going to be firing you, but I'm going to ruin your whole career and your whole life.
Like, can I speak to a manager? You could give them a fake name. People used to do that when I bartended all the time. If they messed up a drink, because we didn't have name tags or anything. We did, but they didn't have our names on them. It just said T, like as you were a worker. So they'd make up a name and they'll be like, okay, I'm going to remember that. He's like, all right, you remember that. It would be like a totally fake made up name.
Okay, Audrina. Okay, Audrina.
When they call back to speak to the manager, they say, and the manager's like, who the fuck is that? They don't even work here.
I don't even have it. And Karen is like, damn it, not that smart.
They got me again.
Yeah. Oh my.
So this is our opinion on Karens. We have a lot of opinions. I feel like we could go on for a while about Karens.
We have a lot of opinions. We can go for hours.
We definitely, because we do all the time. So this is Marina we talked about Karens. I hope you enjoyed it. Listen to my other podcasts, listen to YouTube, search Opinionated with Nicole on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. And I'll see you in my next podcast.
Bye, Nicole.
Woo!